I know, like, starting off with, first of all, I went to college in Charleston, South Carolina. So that, that is racism central. That's where that guy, I can't remember his name, killed all
Jalen Roof,
yeah.
killed the 9 people in the church.
Yes.
In the historical black church. Yes, that one.
Is exactly him.
They arrested him, and then they went and got him some Burger King because he was hungry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
After, just, polishing off like a whole 9 parishioners, killing, parishioners. So it's just,
while they pray.
Exactly. After they prayed with him. And, so I went to school, pharmacy school there. And I just say that to say, when it came to racism, especially when you at a point where you're trying to get the same kind of degree that was going to make a certain amount of money, it was, I have no words. It was a lot.
I imagine
to deal with.
It's a lot, just in general, being in your field, because I don't see a whole lot of black pharmacists, period. But I definitely don't see a whole lot of female black pharmacists.
Oh, really? I think it's more than men.
I'm seeing more now than I've seen, maybe 10 years prior.
Yeah.
But it's still not the norm.
Yes.
I'm thinking, when I say I've seen more, I think I've seen 3.
In your whole life? Really?
And you're one of them. Pharmacists? Yeah.
Well,
I've seen plenty of black pharmacist assistants or techs or whatever in there. But as far as the actual pharmacist, it's been less than 5.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I guess, of course, I see more because, I do it every day. So, you don't have to go to the pharmacy all the time, which is a good thing. But the racism, just to see how the professors would let the white students, this white girl, her cat was sick, so she got to miss an exam, and we can like have the flu or something. And they're like, well, if you don't make it, you're gonna get a 0. It was just, like our class did like a big Confederate quilt. Like all of the girls got together, they all sewed up a quilt together to give away as a raffle, gift. It was just amazing.
It's a slap in your face, like
in your face. It's this girl, and it was just like 4 of us in a class, big old pharmacy. It was just amazing. So just that kind of stress, and then go into the workforce. And I'm just giving, part of my story, to deal with, like, you making the same, you would think, the same money as your white counterparts, but they have an issue. They know you went through the school. They should understand, as a black person, you gotta go through so much more crap to get to where they got to. But it's like they had an issue with you making the same kind of money. They're always downplaying you. When I first started at Walgreens, I was so proud of myself and happy, and then they try to say I was doing phone sex and stuff, just disrespecting. I never told you that story, but
it sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, that was just very traumatizing. And a lot of times racism is just not from, unfortunately, from your white counterparts. A lot of times you have a raccoon in every, it was a white person started the investigation, but they used the black man to try to fire me, with that, instead of doing a full investigation like I know they would have with a white woman, because they know they didn't want no smoke and no liabilities or whatever. They didn't even do an investigation. They just assumed it was me, had me set up for a firing. And so from then on, I'm always skittish that I can be fired at any point in time. Even when I'm doing my job, even when I'm not even thinking about anything, I'm just la 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 la, enjoying my life at work, and that just totally changed my whole perception as a professional. Like I'll have
Did they find who actually did it?
Oh yeah. Honey, they found out who did it, which wasn't hard because when I told them I didn't, they had to, and then of course they thought I was lying. So to prove me wrong, they went through the records and find out easily who done it. And what I'll never forget, when I told my district manager, well, actually I had to help them out. I was like, well, such and such actually worked for me that night. So that's why, and it was like a month later.
Was it a
such
man
and
or a woman?
it was a woman, a man. I know, because that's what men, I hate to say, men do crazy stuff like that. I used to work night shift.
Was
And
he
so
white or black?
it was white, of course.
Okay. Well, I mean, we need to establish. You're
Okay,
telling the story,
I
but
know.
you're not. You're telling it to someone who pretty much knows it. But you
Right.
need to, if you're going to do it on here,
Gotcha.
give those
Gotcha.
details.
I'm so traumatized. I'm just kind of like running it because it's that really just kind of changed the whole trajectory of my professionalism and career. But yeah, he was a white.
It's so weird to accuse, to automatically assume that the female, any female at that, was the one to do the phone sex.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you assumed it was me?
Right. And then they did it in such a humiliating way. They had me leave the premises of my job. They lied to me the day before, said they had this opportunity for me and to meet them at a local McDonald's. And I had like a good, amount of people that respected me. We got along. They would come to me. So I went to this McDonald's after a 10-hour shift. I went to the McDonald's. All the people are there. I'm like, hey, how you doing? They, I sat down. They lied to me. They slung paperwork. This time you made this call and this is how much money you did. And I'm like, just got, night shift. So I am.
Yeah, you're frazzled.
Yeah,
and I know how you are when you get off. You ready to go to bed. You ready to go take that bra off and go home.
When I used to wear a bra, right? Not to make that a mistake no more. But so it just trashed me. So when he found out who did it, because I actually was like,
back up. What did you say in that moment?
I hate to say, I was so, like I said, I was a new person, and I was so tired. And I was sick too. No, I was off because I was sick. But anyway, besides the point, I was confused. I was thinking, do I have a split personality? I didn't really say anything because I was so confused. And then I had already worked like 7, because we would work like 70 hours, 72 hours on, a week off. So I'd already done my whole work week, so they get all the work out of you so it could be a smooth transition and they won't have to find coverage, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I was just like, okay. And he was like, you need to sign here, sign there. And
did you sign?
No, I don't recall signing, but I was just like, okay, we'll talk later. I was like, I just don't think I did that. I didn't say I didn't do it. I could not process it. I just totally.
But you didn't deny it in that moment because
I did not deny it.
You couldn't figure out what the hell was going on.
Because I had 2 people slinging paperwork, business suits on. I'm in McDonald's now, rush hour. This is like 8:30, like 8:15 in the morning. Rush hour at McDonald's across the street from a college campus. So all of the professors, everyone who knew me, so everyone's like looking. So I was just like, humiliated me, totally demolished me. And so I'll never forget when I came home and took a shower, got my, I can't do nothing with my shower, got my bearings. I was like, I said, because it was a month when the sex calls happened, a month late, before. I said, I think I called in one day. I said, I'm pretty sure it's that day. Looked in my calendar. Sure enough, this guy worked for me. I called my district manager, the big manager. She was at the store going through records, to prove me wrong, right? I said, you know what? So-and-so, I said, such and such actually worked that night for me. I didn't do that. He did that. You know what she said to me? She said, oh no, I like such and such. I like such and such. Yeah. And actually, I was supposed to work that night. So they already I was supposed to be fired now. So I came into work that night. I didn't know I was actually fired until a pharmacist called me. He was like, so what's going on? I heard the pharmacist was fired. I was supposed to work, but they had me not working again. So what happened to her? I was like, they already had it sewn. No, they had it sewn up. So as time went on, my district managers, they always wondered why I would close in I would, wasn't really personable because I'm very bubbly. And they were like, Letitia, what's wrong? Da, 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 da. And that was because of that racism. And that was nothing but straight racism, because after that, he was not fired. And actually he wanted.
But you were fired.
Oh yeah.
Okay. He wasn't fired.
No, and actually he wanted to explore another area like Raleigh where he possibly wanted to work. So they arranged
for transfer.
Yeah, but he wasn't sure though. So they paid for him for a nice Marriott hotel for him and his lover, his husband and his child, for them to take a little vacation to see if he really wanted to move to Raleigh or not. I mean, and I didn't want him fired. I like the guy too, just like what the district manager said.
But I like him too. No. So you didn't want him fired, but they were ready to fire you for it.
Oh yeah, I was gone. Yeah, I was gone. Yeah. And then after all of that, I wanted a letter of apology. I wanted, I called a law office. I called the EEOC, all of that. And they're like, we really don't think you have a case. I was just but Walgreens would not apologize to me. They refused to apologize. They refused to acknowledge it. It was this girl. And, so from then on, that just kind of made me
sour taste in your mouth. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was very skittish. I was like a cat that had hot grease thrown on, from the second floor. I was very skittish because at any point in time, my livelihood could be gone off of some foolishness. And if I can't defend myself 1000% with some kind of documentation, like if it was just a he say, she say, I would have been gone. I wouldn't have gotten that privilege. Okay. But
right. And then your career would have been over with.
Oh yeah. It's so that race is, so from there, I'm at work, I'm always stressed. You just never know. And then pharmacy is already a little dicey field anyway, especially now at this point, with there's not a shortage anymore. So girl, yeah, that racism, and stress and stuff like that, it's for real. And like I said,
that's clearly still affecting you. And that was almost 20 years ago.
Right. And I hate to say, it kind of ruined my relationship with my husband at the time, because I felt like he didn't defend, my honor, because he worked there as well. So like other managers and stuff, they were really, but he acted like he was a little hands off of it. And, so I kind of, so that was a whole trajectory where I just kind of lost respect for the marriage. And, because a man's supposed to cover his wife or whatever. And to me, that was very traumatizing. And he just was like,
what you want me to do?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't know what he could have done, but I just felt like I was so alone in that, and I just was stressed. Okay. And so that, so that ruined my, relationship. I mean, I was probably going down the tubes anyway, because I was crazy. But so yeah. So that racism and affecting your health and stuff like that. I mean, to this day, 20 years later, I'm still traumatized from that. Totally traumatized.
You still have anxiety on the job.
Yeah.
And, there's you don't feel any real job security.
Yeah. Oh, never. Oh, no. Ever. I've never, from that point on, like I said, I was a little la, happy little, pharmacist. And then now, like you said, I always feel like I can get fired at any point. For 20 years, I felt zero job security because they were so quick to get rid of me. And to see how they did not do that for the other guy who actually did it, that really showed how expendable I was and how quickly they were willing to take away my livelihood, So after all that crap of pharmacy school, I had to deal with that, it was just crazy, girl. It was just crazy. So, but yes. Yeah, racism and health. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ramble on, but that's how traumatic it was.
But that's a perfect example of how our trauma based on racism can affect our mental and our physical health.
Right. And it's crazy how they will use other Black people as pawns to kind of buffer it where it doesn't, to make it insidious. And that's the thing about racism and in the corporate America and everything. It's not like that blazing, you the N word or da-da-da-da-da. It's so insidious. It's so undercurrent, and that by itself would drive. See, I'm the type of person.
The microaggressions, and a lot of people think, oh, you're not racist if you don't use the N word.